Special needs is the term given to anyone who possesses differences in learning, behavior, and emotion. While it does take longer for them to adjust to events and people in society, they are very capable and talented individuals. They sing, paint, dance, and are able to work and become successful people. Their memory is excellent, and they are often able to focus on detailed tasks like mental calculations extremely well. All children with special needs do not need constant attention, they can be independent as well. The most important thing that a parent can give a child with special needs is friendship. Do you have a child with special needs? Do you want to know more about what children with special needs experience? Do you have the same challenges? We will now hear the advice of two professionals who are also caregivers of those with special needs.
I am a parent of a child with special needs. She's not a child anymore. She's 24. And I always believe unless you take care of yourself first, you cannot take care of anybody else. So, yeah, the caretaker's job is first to take care of themselves, and only then they can start, taking care. You get stronger. We all have different needs. So Zara needs to be carried a lot of the times, even though she can walk. She needs to, be carried on occasions when she's just had a seizure or when she needs to be moved. So I can't do that unless I strengthen my back and I strengthen my muscles. So I do take care of myself in that sense. I try as much as I can to keep myself active and mentally fit. Most important is we've all been there. The new parents. If you are here, don't worry if you felt that I wish my child just dies. I'm going to say this right in the beginning because at one point all of us have felt that. Especially when we see our children suffering, we just wish that this suffering would end. Sometimes it's selfish for ourselves, sometimes it's for the child, but we have all felt it at some point. And if you're saying I haven't felt like that, it's good that you have it, but most of us have at some point. We've all wanted to quit, we wanted our lives to just change and get back to normal. We don't want to be in this special needs, we don't want a child with special needs, but then this is something that is not in your control. And that is when you're going through the grieving process. So when you're grieving, in the beginning you're going through this complete denial. No, this my child, abhi there's something wrong with my child, but as the time goes my child will get all right.
For leaving your child for an hour to take care of yourself, let me tell you something. If you don't take that 1 hour, you're not going to be able to take care of your child as well. So actually, it's not just for you, it is for them at the end of the day. When you take care of yourself, you're more likely to provide better care, better support, better understanding. You're able to hear them out more. You're able to just be able to give a lot more. And sometimes it doesn't have to be an hour. Sometimes it's a 10-minute thing. Sometimes you might need a whole day. It depends, and it's okay. There's no rule for, okay, today I have to take an hour off to meditate. If that's something that relaxes you or something that you feel is self-care. But if that 1 hour you might make you feel worse for taking it, take 10 minutes, take 15 minutes. It's so important that you take care of yourself because that's how you will manage to continuously provide support for the people who need it the most. If there's anybody here who does actually have a disability, I have some advice for them if they're happy to hear it. A lot of the times, a lot of the problems and concerns and difficulties that are faced is because of miscommunication. or lack of communication or difficulty with communication. And communication can be, it doesn't have to be verbal communication. It's more about just being heard, being understood, being able to get their needs and wants across to the person who's willing to help and support. So for anyone who's struggling with communication, there are so many different things you can do. And it doesn't have to be verbal, you don't have to use full sentences, but try to figure out a way to just get your feelings across, because this is a misunderstanding. A lot of people don't realize that, well, not don't realize, but we tend to forget that just because somebody isn't showing us how they feel doesn't mean they're not feeling anything. So just because somebody seems to be okay with something doesn't mean they're not stressed about it, doesn't mean they're not frustrated about it. The problem is that this person might not be able to express that they're feeling stressed, they're feeling frustrated. So it would be a good idea to kind of try to communicate your preferences, what you would prefer to do, how you're feeling, if you're feeling frustrated, what you would like to do in that case. And those are things that would make you feel better, would make your caregiver feel better, and everyone would just be a bit less stressed in general, and have, even if it's just a little bit, a happier life. So things that are that simple, like what we're saying about how caregivers need to take care of themselves, we always forget that the person who is actually going through or has the disorder is actually feeling a lot more frustrated and a lot more stressed and a lot more, just emotionally charged than the caregiver. So it's kind of a communication thing, just communicate how you feel, what you want, what you would like to do. If there's anything that's bothering you, because caregivers, they do their best to make you feel comfortable, but they don't know if you're feeling comfortable or not. And a lot of the times, the children don't want to say that they're bothered because they can see how hard this caregiver is trying, and they don't want to bother them, and they don't want to make them feel bad, and they don't want to make them feel unappreciated. So communicate, because just by communicating something so simple, you can reduce extra stress and anxiety and effort from a caregiver who will be more than happy to listen to your needs and your wants. So I just wanted to say that. Any parent in the world has anxiety regarding their child's future, but this anxiety is 100 times more profound if that child has special needs. I would really just say take it one day at a time. As long as we are moving forward, there's hope for a future where your child will be productive, where your child will be independent, where your child will be able to go to work and make money and be able to provide for themselves. I know this is one of the biggest concerns a lot of parents of special needs have. Worrying about the future and things you can't control, there's no point in doing that. But you can worry about the things that you can control. So take control over what you can. Take it one day at a time, step by step, build those skills, and allow your child to be as independent as possible so that one day they are able to be fully independent on their own. I know in some cases it's not easy. I know it depends on the child. It depends on what they're going through. It depends on their specific type of disability. But there's no way that it's impossible. So it's always possible. You just need to take it one step at a time, day by day, and only worry about what you can control right now. That's my advice.
People with children, especially children, adults, they don't need help. What they need is your friendship. So when you say I'm going to help somebody, means I'm above you, I'm smarter than you, so you have that attitude. But they don't need help. What they need is your empathy. They want you to be besides them, to hang out with them, listen to music, smile with them, play video games with them, go and have a coffee. There's lots of things, just like what you would do with a normal friend. You can do the same thing. Find someone who's similar age, and doesn't mean that mentally they have to be But don't look down upon them and say, I'm going to help you. Oh, you're in a wheelchair, I'm going to push you. Ask, do you need the help? Should I push this wheelchair? Are you okay doing it yourself? You know, don't take the menu card and say, what do you want to eat? I'm going to choose. No, no, no. They can do it on their own, you know. So there's stuff like that that we have to learn. So take this word out. Help is not what they want. What they need is your friendship.
It is okay to struggle. It is okay to experience sadness about the difficulties you face. Your health is important, your physical as well as your mental health. You matter. Your child is different, and that is going to be difficult to accept. You are not alone. Take time for yourself. It is okay to do so. You do not have to feel guilty. In taking care of yourself, you are taking care of your child.